Sexual sin, it looks sweet and smooth, but it's bitter and sharp. Someone said, it thrills and then it kills. It fascinates and then it assassinates. And it takes you to death. What does porn do? What does lust do? It kills you. Porn very specifically kills you. How? It kills you physically. It doesn't help your sex drive. It hurts it. It brings stress into your body. It kills you emotionally because you can't relate and love others in a way that God intended because you objectify others and you start to see people through eyes of sex instead of through eyes of love. It kills you mentally because you enter into a mental battle in your brain that is very difficult to overcome. And it kills you spiritually, robbing you of confidence and joy. And you find yourself, when you slip into a world of lust, battling with anxiety, and you're irritable, and you feel depressed, and you're moody, and there's a loss of motivation, and there's a loss of sex drive. Yes, there's a loss of sex drive. People think that's gonna increase your sex drive. It kills your sex drive because real life is real, and that's not real, and what you're watching is not real. And eventually, especially if you're a Christian and you're fighting it, you become exhausted trying to cover your tracks and manage the shame. And there's always this fear of, when is he gonna find out? When is she gonna find out? When am I gonna get caught? When are they gonna know? I'm dirty. And you lose spiritual confidence and you lose intimacy with God. And many describe it as a nonstop weight and a heaviness that just never goes away. You're dragging this lust problem, this porn problem, and there's always somewhere in your mind the wonder, the fear, the anxiety. What happens if, and why can't I, and why am I not, and where is God in all this? And you want to stop, but you can't. Why? The answer is because you have an injury that hasn't healed. You have an injury. You're stuck in the lust loop. And I want to show you how the loop kills you and how to break the loop. Here's what tends to happen, and you would know this if you've ever been stuck in it. The first thing is you lust and you look, and it gives you that injury. Suddenly, the gift of love making the purity of how God intended it is distorted and disrupted in your life. But when you look and lust, you find yourself excited and you get this dopamine hit. You're like, oh, that was fun. Oh, that was thrilling. And oh, that felt good. And oh, I like it in the moment. And after the dopamine hit, then suddenly you feel this guilt and this shame, and I feel dirty and I don't want to do it. So you decide, I'm going to try to stop, and I don't want to do it anymore. And I'm going to overcome it, and God help me. And I promise I'm not going to do this. And when you try to stop, at some point, your body starts to crave that dopamine hit. I want the emotional escape. I want to forget about my problems. I want the hit. I want the thrill. I want the buzz. And so you go back to your injury that doesn't heal and continues to look and lust, and the cycle goes on. How do we, as followers of Jesus,